Hello there. Today I am working with the gorgeous Field Notes collection from American Crafts and Vicki Boutin. And I have two photographs, a 4x6 and a 4x4. Both of them have been backed with white cardstock, so they're ready to go. So the reason why I chose this collection is because my subject is about my daughter raising a caterpillar to become a butterfly. And as you can see here with the ephemera pack that I have on my desk, this collection is really naturalistic with lots of flowers, leaves, butterflies, that sort of thing. So I'm pulling out this amazing mixed media paper from American Crafts and Vicki Boutin. And I'll have a link for that in my video notes. This paper is so fantastic. You can get it so wet and it doesn't buckle. I love it. And I'm planning to do a little bit of mixed media on this page. As you probably know, I'm not a massive mixed media person, but I find that I'm more comfortable doing it in small amounts on my layouts. So I'm going to keep this one at 12 by 12. I've pulled out this striped paper here. I love those kind of brush stripes, and it incorporates all the colors that I wanted to use on this page, so it's kind of perfect. Now I'm using the rule of thirds here. I'm going to cut this so that it's 4 inches wide because that's the left 1/3 of my layout. And I'm going to go ahead and place this on the left side of the page. So just right away, those lines pointing toward my photos start out the emphasis on my photographs. They kind of draw your eye from the left to the right. So there's another piece of paper in the Field Notes collection that has a lot of journaling tags. Now I've just grabbed this look at this die cut, and I think that is going to serve as my title. I don't think I need an elaborate title for this one. I'm going to have a lot of colors going on, and I like that just clean black and white title look. So here's the piece of paper that I noticed when I was going through the collection, and I think that notes one right there with the teal that matches my daughter's teal shirt will be the perfect journaling card to add my journaling onto. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out here. So now that I have the basics for my page in place, I want to go ahead and do a little bit of fun mixed media. I have these brand new stencils from the Field Notes collection, and I'm putting down my mat. This is just a normal oven mat that you can like place in the bottom of your oven. You don't need anything fancy to do this sort of thing, just something that's wipeable. And I'm going to place this big butterfly in the bottom corner. Now I'm really excited about what I'm about to show you. I'm making my own sprays using these amazing Vicki Boutin watercolors. So I have my watercolors, and as you can see, the colors are just really gorgeous. And I've chosen this teal color here and a bit of green because it turned out to be a bit more blue than I expected. I just put it in a little spray bottle with water, just a drop of each color, mixed it up, and I have my own custom watercolor. Now I want to do kind of a peachy, reddy orange, I guess I could say reddy orange, whatever you want to call it, coral, I guess. And this is what I did. So I stabbed the top. This is the hardest part actually, is trying to get these little guys open. You really have to screw that cap on the opposite way to stab the hole. There we go. So I have a bit of water in here already, And I'm just putting a dab of watercolor. You really don't need much. A little bit goes a long, long way. And you definitely want to keep these watercolors around because they're so handy to use for a project, especially when you don't need a lot of a certain color. You can literally just put a fine tip brush in the top and just grab a teeny bit of color, mix it with some water, and you're good to go. So I have the red and I have a bit of orange. Next, I'm going to put the lid back on and shake it up. And there's my color. Now, you can give this a go on a piece of, throwaway paper, an extra piece of cardstock that you have lying around. And I would suggest that just in case you have to tweak the colors at all. So what I'm doing now is just grabbing some computer paper. I just, pulled it out of my printer. And I'm going to cover up the pieces of my layout that are not going to get sprayed, as well as that little bit of the second butterfly at the bottom of the stencil. There we go. So I just have that big butterfly exposed, and I'm going to use, instead of using the teal first, I'm going to use my pinkish orange first. And I'm just going to spray it a lot, actually. This paper can really handle a lot of wetness. So as soon as I have that sprayed, I'm really carefully going to pick up the paper that I put down, as well as my stencil. So look how awesome that is. Now, this is really wet, and I don't have time to wait for all that moisture to soak into the paper because it does take a while. So I'm going to grab my air gun, my embossing gun, I should say, and help that out a little bit. So I'm just going to show you how amazing this looks after drying it with my embossing gun. It looks like you watercolored it yourself, but it was so much easier than that. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with two other butterflies, and I'm going to do the smaller one. This time I'm going to use the teal color that I made previously. Now these spray bottles are also from Vicki Boutin and American Crafts, so I will link to those in the video notes. They're really fantastic. They're a nice small size as well. Be sure to be really careful when you take off that stencil because you don't want to move the moisture that's on your page. Now I'm going to do the same thing as I did before and grab my heat gun here and just help that along. Okay, my teal butterfly is dry. I'm going to add one more butterfly just because I like things in odd numbers. 3s and 5s are always what I go for. So I'm going to cover up everything that's not going to get sprayed. Now this time I have made kind of an orangey yellow color. I tried to match the yellow that's on the striped paper on the left there. Now on this butterfly, I think I just added a bit too much moisture, but you kind of live and learn. And this isn't supposed to look perfect. It's mixed media, so it doesn't have to be exact. And I kind of like that it's going to have a messy look anyway. So you can see there, the image is not as clear as the other two butterflies. but that's totally fine with me. I'm not going to redo it. I'm just going to go ahead and dry it with the heat gun again. Yeah, be careful when you're doing this to be sure that you clean up any excess ink from your spray mist, because you don't want to get that all over the rest of your page. Now I want to add a little bit of that pretty yellow around the outside. I'm not even going to grab like an artist's uh, thing for my ink. I can't even remember what those things are called, like an artist tray or whatever. I'm just going to simply put a little dab of the paint directly on my mat. So this is the yellow that I've come up with just from one color, but it's a bit more orange than the yellow that I'm going for, which is the yellow in the stripe over there. So I'm going to add this kind of lemony yellow to that orangey yellow to see if I can match that. So I'm just going to mix the two. And add a bit more water. That one looks pretty darn close, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. I'm just going to simply use this yellow color around the outside of the butterflies. And it's important to be sure that your what you've used with the stencil has already dried so that the colors don't mix. I think I've said before on my videos, I'm definitely not a watercolor expert. I don't claim to be. I probably need to take a class on it. But what I like to do is make sure that I leave bits of like saturated color around, especially in the corner there. You can see there's a lot of color in the corner. So what I'm doing on this is just kind of establishing that bottom corner. And that's going to help me create this diagonal line of photographs and embellishments. So there we go. I think that looks pretty good. I think I'm going to stop there and tidy up before I finish with the rest of my page. Okay, so my corner is complete and my photos are in place along with my journaling card. And now I'm just going to go through the ephemera pack. This is the brand new pack that I have here. And I'm just going to choose some pieces that I think will work to help accentuate this diagonal line that I'm going to have on this layout. I love those leaves. They're so pretty. And I think that's a great start to start off the diagonal line from the bottom corner up to the top right corner. Now this butterfly looks like he's kind of sitting, so I'm going to place him on the top of my photo. And I have that large pink butterfly up there as well. Now the butterfly in my story is a monarch, but that's okay. I don't need to have an exact replica of the butterfly in my photos. I'm also going to look at this pack as well. These are more like journaling tags, die cuts. This chipboard sticker pack is really fantastic, and there are so many stickers included in here. Now I'm going to grab some of the stickers from the entire collection to adhere to this striped paper to coincide with the colors on the paper. I really love this green one, but it's a bit too wide for the space I have. So I think I'm going to leave that one off for right now. I also grabbed, this is the another sticker packet, and they include some watercolor stickers in here, but these ones are already colored for you, and they're kind of transparent, so perfect for this sort of thing. That one says get out and explore, which is fantastic. and I like the On This Day one. Put that on the pink stripe. So I've realized that my title is kind of taking away from the corner over there and my diagonal line. So I'm going to go ahead and move the Look at This die cut to the left there. And I think that really helps to ground it to my photos. So I found a different green sticker to use here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Make these moments count, which is a nice one. There's all sorts of great phrases and sayings in this collection. And I'm also going to add another navy blue one right at the bottom that says enjoy this. Yeah, I really like what that adds to the page. It doesn't really draw your eye over there anymore. It just adds a bit of something. Okay, so my diagonal line is shaping up really nicely here. I just want to add something at the top to kind of finish off that top right hand corner. So I'm looking around to see what I have. If I need to cut out something from pattern paper, maybe put a flower around. And I think those green leaves really finish it off nicely. It creates the perfect line. Okay, I promised you that I would open up this die cut pack because these look just too fantastic to pass up. So I want a bit more yellow at the top to kind of bring the yellow that I have at the bottom of the page up to the top. And that's a perfect way to do it, which is a little label there. I love the Good Things Take Time die cut because that couldn't be any more true for the story about my daughter just waiting for her caterpillar to turn into a butterfly. And the best thing about it was that it happened after Hurricane Harvey came through. We were really worried that the butterfly would come out and we wouldn't be able to release him during the hurricane. So that was pretty special. I'm just going back and forth as to whether I should put one of these little circular labels down here at the bottom. I'm feeling like I need to add a tiny bit more color over the top of my watercolors. So I'm going to go with the green. I have the green leaves at either corner of my diagonal photo line there. And if I put that green in the bottom right hand corner, I'm creating a nice triangle there. The next thing I'm going to do is just make a pencil line for my journaling so that I can scan that in before adding my typewritten text. And you can see here that I've printed that out. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop that on my page. Get that adhered down. I'm also going to use every last little bit of some dimensional adhesive I have left to attach this square photo to my layout. You can see here that I have just the edges of this one, so I'm going to cut those up to put onto the back of that photo, just to bump that up a bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add just a few more little bits and pieces from the die cut pack. I wanted to use all of that green circle instead of just saving the other half, so I used the other half up there, and the wild chipboard sticker just to add a bit more pink into that corner. I also am adding these 3 little hearts. And I'm just having a go at seeing what else I can add down there. Maybe a bit of black because I don't have any black in that bottom corner. And this big smiles sticker looks pretty perfect. Yeah, I love that that adds just a bit more visual interest to that bottom right hand corner, and it adds a bit more weight down there as well now that I have something that's black. These puffy stickers are fantastic. I know I'm going to be hoarding these, so I'm just going to add a few here. I think I'll try to use them on every layout that I make from now on. So just 3 of those, because I do have a lot going on, so I don't really need them. And I think with that, this layout is complete. This one was super fun to put together. I love, 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 love this stripy paper. I'm going to be using that a lot, and I loved adding the stickers to it. Now I added the washi tape here under Big Smiles to give that a shelf to sit on. And the look at this title couldn't be more perfect for that photo of my daughter looking in the jar. How awesome is that journaling tag? I mean, it matches my daughter's shirt. It has the pretty florals on it. This entire collection just seemed made for this memory, and I'm really pleased with how it came out. And even the fact that I did do a little bit of mixed media on here, I hope you guys will give that technique a try and create your own watercolor mist sprays. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out all of the product that I used to create this layout in the video notes. Thanks so much for watching, and if you liked what you watched, be sure to subscribe for more videos from me. Happy creating!